Thank you for clicking on this video. If you enjoy what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to stay up to date with our latest content.
And hey, don't forget, check out our Patreon where you can be part of the dream and enjoy this transaction.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to an all-new Microtransaction. I'm, of course, your host, Liquid, and joining me today, per usual, we have the walking microtransaction logo himself, Chris. Chris, how are you today?
Dude, today I'm doing quite all right. It was just a lovely day. I was just hanging out. I was just like thinking of wild scenarios that I was in. And there's something that happened. I was going to say it for the extra episode that you can, follow us on Patreon and get it. But so I said a joke and I made someone spit take water today in real life.
Whoa, it must have been a damn good joke.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I'll let you be the judge. Hold on.
Yeah.
So the thing is, some guy was talking to me. It was at a delivery, and he just started. The guy started talking, and the girl just came up, and she works there as well. And then he's like, yeah. And then the whole thing just caught fire, and I was just like, man, whoever threw her really needs to chill out on that. And when I did that, the girl was taking a sip and spit it out.
Dude, maybe
it wasn't that.
She just thought too much, bro. Too much for her.
You see, it's not that funny. You know what it is? I think it just caught her. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is. The timing, perfect. Everyone knows comedy is all about timing. Like the shit that Ani, my significant other, laughs about, and the shit that I laugh about, two completely different things. She thinks fart jokes are stupid. I think they're hilarious. All right. She thinks people, for some reason, yelling at the top of their lungs, like losing their shit. She thinks she dies off of that shit. I think it's just okay. Whatever. He's just yelling. But you know what I'm saying? It's just, but it's just too funny.
Yeah.
Besides, and we've had the conversation. I'm like, the only person that I find funny is myself. So that's what it comes.
That was an off-screen camera, or off-screen conversation.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, it was an off-screen conversation.
Yeah.
Well, now it's on screen. For those who don't know, there's one person that I find hilarious, and it's this guy. It's just.
Now we all know.
Yep. Now everyone knows. Well, Chris, we have an action-packed show today. All right, action and like don't even go lightly on the action. We've got Warzone mixed reviews of their new map just came out, Caldera. We got the Game Awards. We're talking about that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Ubisoft in there, and they're coming in with some NFTs. What is it? Are the hype boys into that? We'll see. And then we got Uncharted. I'm gonna call it Uncharted Territories. All right, because we've got we got Uncharted and they got a little upgrade debacle, and then we got PlayStation Gamepass. Do we want it? Did we want this? We don't know. We'll see. But we'll go over the details though. You be the judge. All right.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we're gonna get to the first thing here. And that's gonna be Warzone's mixed reviews for the map Caldera. All right, Chris. I think you've stepped into Caldera before, haven't you?
Did I?
Oh, whoa, yes. Chris is in Caldera. Chris, how you liking it over there?
It's really humid.
Okay.
But a nice you see to my left, my camera left. Honestly, the water it's just nice.
It's pretty.
Very hilly.
Oh, I heard. So I've heard.
But overall, there might be some people hacking into the ground somewhere.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. So yeah, so like we were saying, so Caldera, the new Call of Duty Warzone map came out. A lot of mixed reviews, depending on I guess who you're talking to. Some people like it. Some people are just like it's boring as shit. Some people are like it's more or less the same thing with hills. So yeah, that's about it. Some of the things that I've heard, which caught me off guard, I didn't expect it. So a lot of people were expecting it to run off of the Vanguard engine. Vanguard has its own engine. As we know, Modern Warfare was last year's game that had its own, or I'm sorry, that was 2 years ago. The whole thing is we thought it was going to run off of the Vanguard engine. Completely false. Apparently, this is still running off of the original Modern Warfare engine, this version of Warzone. So people like, for example, the pros out there, not used to it. They're too busy playing Vanguard. Now they go to this and it feels like it feels different to them. It's so funny because you get the people out there to complain, hey, Call of Duty, it's the same game year after year after year. But I feel like unless you're spending hours upon hours grinding and just playing at the professional level, you probably don't notice this thing, Yeah. And it's just that much, I guess, where it like throws them off.
I guess like the average Call of Duty player would probably not think nothing of it because like I guess what really matters
Mm-hmm.
in generality is the same, but when it comes to nuance, where professional gaming at all level lives at, that like that's where like the details get made, and I'm sure like you're making, even with the like with the same engine, like
Mm-hmm.
they're different engines, but even if you had the same engine and they were both two games, I'm sure there'd be because that's work one team did compared to another person's team,
Right.
and it's just like there has to be differences.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I know I was watching some gameplay and seeing multiple people playing it. Obviously I haven't played it. There's this little indie game called Halo that came out, campaign. We have a non-spoiler review coming up, don't worry about it, guys. And the things I've been seeing, like to me looks, I like how bright the map is.
Same. I do like that too. I like how it looks. It makes it pop a little bit. It gives it a little more color.
Mhm.
I think therein lies the illusion, because people were talking about, oh my god, it's like a bunch of hills and stuff like that, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? This game looks beautiful. It looks pretty. Like I think the map looks really nice.
Mhm.
But I think that's exactly all it is. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just the color, the lighting. I think it's just that to sort of convince you that it's a better map essentially. Because I think the original Verdansk, I thought it was kind of like bland. You know what I'm saying? Like all especially when you go to that sawmill factory area, like that's really bland. So it's nice to see that pop, and I do want to talk about some of the more positive things. Like when I saw some gameplay, like I saw there was the little planes that you could fly in. That looked fun. I saw people lighting up propane tanks, throwing them at people. I feel like it took a little more time to blow up than I would like to admit it, or that I would like, but so far from the what little bit I've seen, I want to at least try it. I still want to try it at least once.
Yeah, it's interesting. But I was surprised they went for the Pacific so hard. They lean in it because obviously the World War II setup has not been a fan favorite, and I'm surprised that Call of Duty is just all in on it.
Yeah.
Do you think this in Warzone's enough to like turn it around, Liquid?
No, and here's why.
Oh,
So
fuck.
yeah, because it's funny you bring this up, because a lot of people I follow the pro scene a lot more than I do Warzone, that's for sure. And a lot of the pros feel like they're not being heard. They feel like more money and time is being put into Warzone than it is into the pro scene, which makes sense. I mean, the Warzone kind of is where they make their money. That's where they really make their money at. So obviously that's gonna happen. But the pros feel like they feel some type of way because they feel like they're just not being heard. Here's the thing though, is that they feel like they weren't being heard, and now Warzone drops a new map, and it apparently pisses off a lot of the Warzone community. So it's just like, here you are, you piss off the pro scene because you're putting more attention to this thing, which is what everybody's looking at now. Now that you have their eyes on it, you make something else, and you just essentially you piss them off too. So it's like one of those things where you can't satisfy everyone, obviously, but will it fix it? No, I think they're better off just waiting for the next year's game to come out. I know it's supposed to be Modern Warfare. We still don't even know if that's going to do any good, but I think it just gives people some hope. As of right now, though, no, I don't see anything turning around. Especially again going back to the pro scene, dude. Have like some of the issues with these maps, dude. Like I've been watching some of these people play, where like so many glitches. So there's been the bomb glitch that was supposed to be fixed, if I'm not mistaken, where if someone's defusing the bomb, like you could see the bomb being diffused through the map. It's like you see the bar like going down and stuff, like it being diffused. So it's just like the enemy team can see it, and he can just literally rush the bomb and kill you. I've seen that happen. I've seen where people go through like there'll be like a truck in the middle of this map, and people are just like hiding like inside. Like you can like glitch yourself inside essentially clip yourself through the map, and you can like shoot out and nobody can really see you. And apparently it's like easy as hell to do. You just gotta like shimmy your way in. Yeah, just shimmy your way in there. Yep, exactly. And then what else, dude? Oh, there was one where I was watching this dude. They were playing this guy, and what his teammate, I guess, was like following him or something. The dude just disappears, but you see his name over his character that's supposed to be there. You see him, like you see the name going, but the guy's just gone. So it's got a lot of issues, and it's gonna be interesting when we finally do see the pro scene, and like when come February, and some of the things happen on the main stage. It's gonna be something. So to see that how as bad as it is, and then to see people pissed off about the Warzone issue, it's just like Call of Duty can't catch a break. And I mean, it kind of serves them right. I mean, you kind of let this happen yourself. I mean, there's nobody else to blame but yourself. So, you know, hopefully Modern Warfare will bring new days. But as of right now, I'm gonna give you a fat no.
Yeah, Warzone. I saw yesterday during this debacle of a tournament for the Pacific. Apparently there was a glitch where if you win gulag fights, you still don't come back.
Damn, I haven't seen that. That's wild, dude.
Like, no, like, it happened to Tim the Tap Man.
Oh
And
my
Dr. Disrespect. So I'm like, the two people you probably didn't need it to happen to, it happened to. And I was like, oh man, I'm like, that's at least a combined like 70 to 100,000 people who just saw that in real time.
I'd say it's who saw it in real time, and then you figure they're gonna probably post it somewhere. These clips are gonna be thrown all around the world. So like you figure, that it's gonna double that within minutes, within seconds, probably even. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
And hashtag Chris was right. I told you this was gonna be a buggy, broken game despite itself. And I was right. And with this, and then the whole Ricochet system, for those of the guys who don't know, Ricochet is supposed to be Warzone's anti-cheat system.
Right.
And they boasted braggadociously. They were like, you're not gonna ruin our game. We're standing up to the hackers. This is our stand. This is our Tiananmen Square. And then they were only really talking to the Pacific Asians. Because they're the only ones that actually had this Ricochet in place, I guess, testing it out, while everyone's been let to the wolves, and people are there's already tons of footage on day one cheaters.
Oh, I'm sure.
In Warzone.
That's wild, dude. Like, the thing is that if you were just gonna only roll it out to the, that Asian market, Pacific area, if you're gonna do that, like, at least say that, get ahead of that. Like, that should have been done a long time ago. That should have been like when they were like mid-development on this thing. Like, oh, dude, talk about doing it wrong constantly. Talking about dropping the ball consistently. Like, dude, like I said, they only have themselves to blame. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm sure this whole Bobby Kotick situation and what they have going on is not even helping neither. So, dude, I don't know. I'm happy. Like, it's so funny because, like, I remember how I was like, before all this even went down, once I found out it was a World War II setting, I kind of checked out on this game. And I'm still checked out. Like, I totally regret paying even $35 for this game.
Bro, I don't blame you. That could have been $30 you spent on Halo.
Yeah, Halo. Anyway. I'm like $50 on Halo so far.
Hell yeah. Nice. But just this whole Call of Duty, just to wrap it up, it just seems like this is the very beginning. It technically should only get better, but I have a strong feeling it's gonna get worse before it gets better. And I don't see, like you said, the new Modern Warfare game. I'm like, bro, that's like in that game cycle is years steeped in COVID. And then you then you're gonna have updates. Like, what does a more modern looking game does for this year's? Are they gonna now change a brand new Warzone map every year? Because then think about it, it's gonna be broken the first 6 months, and then you're gonna have like maybe 6 months of it working, and then before then, new map. You can't do that. Like, how are these styles gonna clash? Unless they just want the Pacific to be like the thing they do from now on, but the audience hates.
No, exactly. That's not gonna fly well. The changes need to be made. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, I don't know where they go from here, but the good news is that's not for us to decide. That's for them to figure that out.
Yeah, they need to work on that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool and all. That was all fun and all, but now let's get a little more serious, right? We're done with Call of Duty. Let's get into these game awards, all right? So, hosted by Jeff Keighley, it aired last Thursday.
Jeff Keighley, what a good job.
No.
What a good job, Jeff Keighley.
My man brought in Kojima just to introduce another director about their movie. Like, God damn it, I hate you, Jeff Keighley.
Hey.
All right.
He had to show up though. I like how you can't. I thought we were gonna see a still for a new Kojima game. We didn't even get that.
No. we didn't get that. We didn't get a lot of things, to be honest with you. I thought we were gonna get a lot more. I'll be honest. I thought we were gonna get more, but we didn't, and that's okay. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like we've said time and time again, it could be due to the way the world is right now. So. Let's go through it though. I want to focus less on. Well, let's talk about who won the game of who took the game of the year and went to It Takes Two. All right.
Shocked.
Yeah. But you know what's funny is that we say shocked because I think it was because we never played it before, and everybody sees that game as an indie game, but the EA is the publisher. So it's not really the classic case of indie game. Granted, it's got an indie sort of feeling, like art style and stuff like that. So I think that makes it more indie, or what it looks like makes it look more indie. Regardless, though, when you see the names that were on that list, what we're looking at: Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, Deathloop. Like you wouldn't think not once that it would be It Takes Two. I've never played it, but I hear nothing but good things. So maybe they deserved it. I don't know.
You know, like. Because I hear a lot of things about that was being said about the VGAs, but no one's actually upset about this game of the year. People are shocked, like we were,
right?
But like everyone's like, it is a really good game. It's like how last year people made the case for Hades to win Game of the Year, and after playing Hades, I'm like, I see why you have this argument.
Same.
So I'm sure if we played it, we'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And I've only ever heard good things. It's a great game to stream. It's a great game to play with your friends. So it's just like. And they did such a good job. Like you can get like a code, and then you can give the game to someone so you can play with them. Like it just did so much right, and I'm happy for them. You know what I'm saying? Even though like EA is a publisher, but like it was like a small group, and the guy was stoked out of his mind.
Yeah,
he was real flexing. He was just like, ah! And I was like, good for you, dude. You didn't think we were gonna win this.
No, even he didn't know. Yeah, it's Joseph Ferris is a dude, and we all know him. He's appeared in the Game Awards several times with the whole "fuck the Oscars" guy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of his games are like that. Like it's so funny. A lot of his games are very like two. You need kind of two people. He made Brothers, which is actually one person controlling two people, and then he made like A Way Out, which was very similar. It was if you own the game, you can invite your friend, even if they don't own the game, and they could just play along with you. Same thing here with It Takes Two. He designs games that have to be played with two people, which is and you would think that's kind of niche, but it works, man, and it's just done very well. And like you could tell, dude, they work really hard on making these kind of games, and it shows. I think it's great.
Yeah, overall the VGAs, but yeah, it's like a full heartfelt congratulations from everyone here at the Microtransaction. You did a good job. We will play your game, we promise. Absolutely. Especially because that thing's on Gamepass, baby. Woo! You know what I'm saying? And so. Yeah, but honestly, top to bottom, I know we were expecting like a megaton hit, but there were some things like with Horizon Zero West not even cementing their own date.
Yeah, like we know, or they put in this sort of I want to call it a placeholder right now, this February 18th date. But yeah, like you said, they didn't show it off again, which kind of makes you question. I'm just like, ooh, maybe nothing's all fine and dandy in paradise, if you know what I mean. That being said, though, the game looked great though. Like the game looked awesome.
So
I love some of the new things they showed, especially her outfits and the monsters and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, it would have been nice to see that date make me feel at least a little bit better, you know. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't see you like not you, but as a PlayStation fan, after watching the VGAs, getting that like, oh yeah,
right,
moment. I feel like Sony just didn't have that.
No,
and you know what I mean? Like in with Ratchet and Clank, did they win anything?
I don't believe so. I don't think so. If they did, it would have been some of those like quick, like, hey, this is who won this is who won that. But I highly doubt it. I don't think so. There wasn't anything. Not even a big PlayStation. Well, we know PlayStation doesn't appear on a lot of these things now, but even then, like usually you'll see like a game, like you said, Horizon Zero Dawn was kind of the only thing, or Horizon Forbidden West was the only thing that they really showed, and that was it. I think that's kind of.
It was quite like lacking from the Sony side.
Right.
But like it's funny, the quietness from Sony has made other things like come up to the top more,
Yeah.
and it's been pretty rad. Like when like I know you have the list in front of you, but when you go down the list
Mm-hmm.
of some of the games that came out, you're like, oh man, like if a God of War did show up here, it would just overshadow all of this.
Yeah.
Because your boy Kratos, he's like you. He looms. His personality looms at 7 foot. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Like he casts a wide shadow.
No, I completely agree. So yeah, we're gonna go down this list here, and I think you're 100% on the money there. That a lot of these games look, get just a few more eyes and are talked about a little bit more because yeah, like you said, PlayStation just doesn't have that presence. So yeah, not bad at all. So let's go over the some of the lists here. We're gonna start off with Hellblade 2: Senua's Sacrifice. Looks amazing. Hellblade 1 was great. The only complaint I'd have with the original Hellblade is just the fact that the final boss, if you will, or the final challenge, or whatever you want to call it, it was a little too generic in my opinion. Like it wasn't done, like where you feel like it was more like, oh, that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like, yeah, it was kind of boring, done very cheaply. Now, granted, it was a smaller studio and they don't have a big budget, but for what they did with that little budget, fantastic, and it shows in this one as well. No exception. If anything, I think this one, it looks better. It should look better. We got a little bit of that Xbox money. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely, I'm here for it. I can't wait for that to come out, dude. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Oh, it was real nice to see that. Like I'm like, oh yeah, Xbox has some bangers coming out, boy. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this being high on the list.
Yeah. Then we got Star Wars Eclipse, which is made by Quantic Dream. These are the people who brought you Heavy Rain. They brought you Detroit Become Human. That's about it. Because Beyond Two Souls, Beyond Two Souls, I think is what it's called. Sucks. Mm-hmm. It's a terrible game. But other than that, all the other ones are great. Now it's funny because I see this, I'm like, ooh man, I bet you PlayStation probably wish they would have I want to say PlayStation would wish they purchased Quantic Dream, but then again, I know there was a lot of issues with that, like legal issues, especially with being able to run a studio similar to that of Activision with like sexual harassment allegations, that sort of thing. So maybe they were right not to do it, but regardless, they have a Star Wars property, and I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen. Isn't it just a Star Wars universe where we make decisions in? The CGI cutscene looked awesome.
It did.
Yeah.
But like we said, like I temper my expectations.
Yeah.
Because these games are great. Mm-hmm. I think these games are good. I think the novelties. Well, like what's the game with? Is it just with the origami killer? What was it called again?
Heavy Rain.
Jason. And I'm like, cool, but after that, I feel like the novelty kind of wore off, and like I see the Star Wars, it's cool, and I always want to be psyched for Star Wars, but like I also heard like the guy in real life, like the main dude, is kind of a douchebag. Like he thinks like he's like the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Wait, are we talking about the like a character in the game or the director himself?
No, the director.
Oh, so like David Cage. Yeah. David Cage.
Yeah, apparently he's a huge douchebag in real life.
I think he's French.
Like don't get me wrong. You can be a douchebag if you make a good game. I just need you to make a better game.
Yeah, right? Or hell, yeah, like you said, I agree. Like if you want to make a great games, like if you were like Shigeru Miyamoto or someone, if you're a douchebag, I'm like, you know what, understandably so. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if you're making, hell, I'd even say Kojima is probably up there too. He could probably be a piece of shit. No, and everyone's like, oh, a deserving piece of shit. Yes, you are. Mm-hmm. David Cage. No, I mean he made Indigo Prophecy. Don't get me wrong. The people who do like these games, I think they really like these games. But I think for someone like you and I agree with you. I think they're good. I'd say some are great. I think Detroit Become Human was really good actually. I didn't even play it. I watched it, and I don't watch people play games. So I watched Ani play that actually on the couch. And it seemed, honestly, I thought that was more interesting, even though the origami killer thing, the Heavy Rain, that had that nice suspense to it. But Detroit Become Human was, I don't know, it was just a little different,
Wow. Yeah, I like I said, I'm gonna hold my expectations.
I gotcha. All right, then we were greeted with some Sonic 2, some movie action from the Sonic 2 trailer. I watched it. Actually watched it twice. Dude, I love it. You know what's funny is that when you Eldris, or is it Idris Elba? Idris Elba. We knew he was gonna be the voice for Knuckles, and I didn't know how to feel about that. Like, I know the dude's a phenomenal actor from everything that I've seen, but I've always thought, what kind of voice would he give to Knuckles? And when I heard it, I was like, holy shit, that's really good. Like, I'm like, this is actually a great voice he gave to Knuckles. Like, it's just like, it's not like American. It's got some kind of like twist to it, but it's done really well. And it's just like, okay, cool. I love it. I love what they're doing.
Yeah, when you hear Knuckles talk, you're like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Like, this is a perfect way to deal with Knuckles. Because, like, it's like you said, it's not an American accent, but it sounds almost mysterious. And since, like, Homie does have such a great, like, natural speaking voice, I'm like, man. And, the original voice actress for Tails reprised her role in this movie. And I'm like, and then when you hear Tails talking, you're just like, why would anybody else ever try to follow? Like, it just fits so perfect, and I'm so happy they got it. It's like I don't know if you're gonna have one with, like, the Halo trailer. It's like they have Jen Taylor, who does the voice for Cortana.
Okay.
She's in the show too, and you're like, oh, thank God. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Like, yeah, all around cool. I didn't know I didn't think they were gonna do like a sort of origin story between Tails and Sonic, like where they kind of first meet. I didn't know that was gonna be a thing, but I'm glad they're doing it, dude. I liked the first one. I thought it was, it was good. I don't think it was like fantastic. Like, hey, you gotta watch this movie, but it was still good. It was a nice little family fun watch night, and I think I expect the same thing for this one.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be a good time.
Right.
It was cool that I got to see him. Like, wow, Tails is like playing is like in a movie.
Yeah,
like, this is wild, dude.
It is pretty wild.
This is tight.
And then I'll fit this one in here. Wonder Woman. We saw a little teaser for Wonder Woman. Definitely nice. I believe it was Warner Brothers Studios who's making it, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too sure. Again, it was just a teaser trailer, so we didn't see too much. But definitely interested, though. Definitely interested.
Hey, Wonder Woman is underrated.
Oh yeah,
especially because she's one of the big three, and let's just say if they play it like how it should be, Wonder Woman should be murking some people. You know what I'm saying? Because Wonder Woman doesn't take prisoners. Right. She's like, I don't need to worry about whether they're gonna change the way. I got the lasso, and if they don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they need to. This is their excuse. They could, all that movie BS, just leave it at the door. You just go all in on this. I agree. I think it'll be something. It'll be something special, or it can be something special.
It can, yeah.
We saw, Cuphead DLC coming right on time. Now, it's been a few years, but it looks good. It looks so awesome, dude. Cuphead was good in itself. Now they're introducing a new character, Chalice, and it's got the same. It feels like the same art style. Just everything you love about Cuphead, and now you got more.
No, the commercial was amazing with the puppetry. Went into the style. Cuphead, I think, is in a great place. They know exactly they are, how to promote their shit, and everyone knows you beat Cuphead, you get your e-penis grows 2 inches more that day. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? So Cuphead, I'm excited for.
Well, add 2 inches to my length, Chris, because I did beat Cuphead. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, well,
you beat Cuphead?
Yeah, I'm packing. All right, I'm packing.
Poppy, like, yeah, damn, bro.
And then I don't know if anybody really cares about this, but I put it on there because I thought it looked kind of cool. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, the sequel to it. It looks fun. It looks like a little like a Gears of War kind of clone. I liked it. I dug it. Bloody.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I know the people it's like visceral. I want to use it for
that's a perfect word, actually.
Yeah, I'm like, when I saw it and I liked everything about it. They even as someone who doesn't know anything about Warhammer, you saw the I guess the Hell's Angels, and seeing it was the great thing that, like, from like Halo 3 when the guy's blind, he's like, hey, it's a Spartan, we're gonna be all right, and he's like, yeah, and like, how you made you feel like he was a badass. It makes you feel like the character you're playing as, these 3 people, are badasses. So you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it really did.
And I'm like, it made me. It was trying to convey that to me, and I got it.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
So good trailer.
Yeah, definitely good trailer. Then Star Trek Resurgence. I don't know. It looks okay. I'm not really a Star Trek guy myself, but
I looked on Twitter, Star Trek people, they're pretty like, all right, let's try it out.
Okay.
Like, and I'm like, cool.
hey, that's cool.
All right.
And then one of the trailers they closed it out with was Arc Raiders. There was this third person sort of shooter. They seem to be shooting a lot of drones. Music that felt out of place in the trailer, but I mean, it looks interesting. It looks kind of cool. Looks like it might be very Destiny-like. So if I hear more, I want to hear more about it. And if it does start leaning more towards Destiny, I'm checked out 100%. But
Come on, Liquid, you're never gonna give another Destiny type game another chance again.
no, not if it's like that, dude. I'm sick and tired. The thing is, like, Destiny, one of my biggest issues is the waves. Oh, get to this area, fight 3 waves of enemies, advance to the next area, fight 3 waves of enemies. Like, I'm tired of that, dude. And I'm tired of playing the same missions over and over and over again. Like, it's just, if you want to make it just a single player shit, you know, give me just the one mission. Like, I'm okay with playing the story. Like, I'll play the Destiny story and that's it. And then I'll check out. I don't mind doing that. But yeah, if it's the same reason I stood away from Avengers. And rightfully so, because Avengers was complete shit.
Yeah.
So.
I paid for that game.
I'm still gonna be the story. Mark my words.
Okay, that's fine. But like the Raiders game, like to echo what you said, I like the art style, I like the characters. I'm like, cool, we're fighting a lot of drones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the villains look very like it would look cool, but I'm like, man, if you were to play this, I'm like this cool factor would fade super fast.
Yeah.
Like this looks like an extra enemy. Like, you know what I mean? It looks like a grunt villain, and there should be an elite somewhere. And I'm like, yo, when are you gonna show me this big baddie?
Right.
And you show me this little one. And they showed like the big monsters and stuff like that, but you didn't get to see them like together.
Right.
It did look very Destiny. When I was like watching the trailer, it brought me back to the first Destiny game where you the space magic. You know, that big, like, E3 thing.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I can see, like, for Destiny people, this might be hype as hell. And if you get that audience, there's a very good audience to get. Because Destiny people bought the fuck in. They've been playing for how long now? Like,
too long.
Come on, man.
Too long.
Like, hey, Destiny again. I don't have no hate.
You people are insane. You're playing the same fucking thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. That's a definition of insanity.
They got the BR now, the pistol from Halo, and just congratulations, Bungie, 30th anniversary. You're going through some stuff. You're trying to be better, whatever. But like, yeah.
You'll never do what 343 is doing. Let me stop.
Oh my god. Anyway, but yeah, no, overall I thought it was cool, and I like how I don't know why, but I'm really liking ending a show on something new.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Hold on real
Like-
quick. Dylan, are you okay? Dylan's here, by the way, people. Dylan, you okay?
Hi, Dylan.
You wanna pop your head in? I'll blur it out.
I'm in
The
the
Pro
middle.
controller?
They don't respect
controller.
me, guys.
Pro controller.
They don't respect you. They don't
Check
respect
the drawer above. You know where the Switch games are at? Okay.
Look at
Oh,
this.
here it goes.
Unprofessional. It's like let me guess, what your PC's gonna overheat and we got to take a 5-minute break. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, what was I in the middle of saying? Yeah, I like the games are ending on a
new
on a new show, like a new IP,
Yeah.
because we get stuck in ruts. Look at me, I've been playing the same game for the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like Halo, like every time there's a new Halo, I'm stuck in. But I'm like, I want these new things, and I want these new things.
Okay.
Because remember, Last of Us was new at one point, and now I don't want to live in a world without it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. That's a good point. That's a
So-
great point, actually. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. That's about it, though, that I had for the award show. Chris, any last things you want to say about the award show before we change the subject here?
Jeff Keighley is always dressed to impress.
Okay, Jeff Keighley's always looking fresh. Oh, also call out Tim Schafer. Dude, I dig this suit. I know they did you so wrong, dude. Psychonauts 2 deserved way more awards, but
Yes,
that suit,
100%.
bro, sharp.
Whew.
All right, on to Better things? No, Ubisoft and Ubisoft, dude. Ubisoft's NFT. I'm so glad Chris is prepared, dude. Ubisoft's NFT situation. Oh my God, somebody. Like, the thing is, here's the thing. This makes me happy because I'm like, any chance I can shit on Ubisoft, I will. I will, because I think Ubisoft sucks. I think they're overrated. I don't think they have it anymore. Like, they're just, dude. Like, they're just so lame. Like.
Okay, before you put the cart before the horse,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Why does Ubisoft suck now?
Okay, so wait. Oh, you want the whole NFT situation?
Yeah. Break it down for the kids at home.
Okay, so Ubisoft's introducing new gear. The funny thing is, oddly enough, they're bringing it only to Ghost Recon Breakpoint so far. It's like, which doesn't really have the biggest fan base right now. It's been out for years now, so see, you could tell it's like testing grounds, So yeah, they're testing it out in this game. They're calling these items digits. Okay, you could earn your digits, and what they are is their armor, camo, you name it, whatever it is. They're digits, and each one has its own individual serial number or its own individual digit, if you will. It'll say like 0002, and you can see these digits in game. So it makes everyone's piece of armor unique to them. You own your own unique piece of armor. Boy, Ubisoft, what the hell were you thinking? Like, oh my God! Like, the thing is, so NFTs, I still barely understand NFTs. I do. I don't.
What I hear, the layman's term is basically NFT is how to make something in the virtual world have like real world value. So that number that goes on the blockchain that just shows where, like, it's the database where everything works off of, it shows it that it's real and it's attached to something. And that's essentially it.
Okay, I mean, that's cool and all. It sounds like some kind of scheme to me, but okay, maybe that's just tinfoil hat liquid. Who knows? I mean, hell, it's I don't know, whatever. But yeah, so they're bringing over these NFTs, getting a lot of backlash from the fans and the community. Thankfully, so they should. This shit should not be in video games. This is essentially just loot boxes, essentially, but it's just like in a different way. It's the same argument. Yeah. And obviously this is being done for the investors. Okay, this is not, they don't have to do this. They could easily just make an armor and put a price tag on it and call it a fucking day. But no, because they're putting their own individual serial number, you have to have it because it's unique to you. And obviously this is just for investors. This is just nothing more than just a quick I wouldn't say quick cash, a cash grab in general. Oh, dude, I'm so annoyed by this.
Like, what the fuck happened to the days when you made a good game and that's how you made your money? Now, video games for Ubisoft back here, like, they just make video games as a vessel for you to spend your money. It's just a video game. It's almost secondary to the way they get money. And it's just like, that's so blatant. And Liquid, I have to pose is like, is there any Assassin's Creed, any Sam Fisher, and anything that can pull Ubisoft back in gamers' good graces? Because right now, like, how like the thumbs down has been taken away on YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, you can download a link and it's like bring back YouTube's dislike button.
Yeah, I saw it.
And this is so massively disliked.
Really?
When you see, yes, oh bro, no one likes it. It's so money hungry. It's so obvious, Liquid. The thing is, like, people know that you're trying to get money. Video games is a business, but they don't want to feel like someone's reaching into your wallet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to feel like, oh wait, you made something good. Here you go.
Right. No, absolutely. If there's something
is there anything Ubisoft can do? I'm sorry.
As far as like any existing properties that they own, like just revitalizing, I don't think it's gonna fix a lot of this. I think they need to just redo everything essentially. Just like, hey, go back to basics essentially is what they need to do. Ubisoft is trash. I feel like they've been trash for a while. The Assassin's Creed games, I get it. They're good or whatnot. I'm sorry. I used to like the Assassin's Creed games, and then once they started becoming a yearly franchise, I done, checked out. Same thing with they even tried to do it with Watch Dogs. I remember playing the first Watch Dogs. I played the first and second Watch Dogs, and they were before that thing even got off the ground. They were trying to like make that into like a franchise thing. Like, dude, it's just so wild. Like, they tried their X Defiant, their free to play game. That didn't.
I forgot about that.
That didn't do well.
Oh.
And that game actually tried to bring in, like, mesh in their existing properties, and that didn't do well. So to answer your question, absolutely not. There's nothing they can do to fix this. All right, you know what they can do to fix it? Get that shit out of here. Stop fucking stop. Like you're I don't know what the hell they're thinking. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Just go back to making your games. I know the ongoing joke here is that they'll never make another Splinter Cell, and that looks to be more true more and more as time goes on. But dude, you just gotta go back to making games. Just focus on making good games and not trying to make these like just money grubby cash cows is what you're trying to do essentially. Just go. Chris hit it on the nail or hit the nail on the head. Just go back to making good games. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, because this is atrocious and it's offensive, and honestly, like, it's insulting to a fan base that is very much like, more people know what's going on in gaming than I feel like any other media outlet. Like, we're more clued in than like movie watching fans or the average like music guy. Like it's like me. I listen to music. Yeah, it's like I listen to music for like 8 hours straight. Do I know how to play a instrument? Fuck no. But do I listen to music all the time? Yes. Do I know how fucking Kanye West knows how to make all these crazy beats? No. You know what I mean? But like in video games, like, we're more dialed in, and something that's so obvious and so gross. Yeah. It's just so disappointing, because I'm like, I had good times when I played like Division 2 and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, was that the last for me? Is that the last breath of the Ubisoft that made decent games? Because now, like, now I think about Division, I'm like, man, I had fun with that game. Sure, it wasn't the best game, but it wasn't a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm like, is that the last breath that we get? And honestly, after looking at this NFT debacle, I'm just like, yeah, because this sucks. This is shit. Like, this makes me want to not play Ubisoft games at all anymore, period.
Yeah, I honestly, I think you're right. Like, I've lost respect for Ubisoft a long time ago, and just when I think that, hey, there's no way I could lose more respect, I end up losing more. Like, it just happens. Like, it's just like how they find a way to always fuck up. I don't get, at least for me, you know what I'm saying? I know when I stopped paying attention to Ubisoft, a lot of people were still, all for it and stuff like that, and I don't think they're in the wrong for it. You play whatever you like, you play what you enjoy. Even you Destiny fans, you play what you enjoy. But ultimately, Ubisoft, get your shit together, dude. Like, what the hell, man?
Remember, the light of the Guardian is always with you.
No, it's not. Chris, do we need to shit on Ubisoft anymore? Have they already dug their own grave, you think?
I don't. We can shit on Ubisoft. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. But no,
let's change direction.
To other bad news.
Yeah, let's change some direction and fire some shots at another company here, Sony and their PlayStation. Now, well, okay, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna start with the Uncharted situation first. Boy, oh boy. So Uncharted, what is it called? Uncharted Legacy of Thieves is coming out, which comes with the Uncharted The Lost Legacy, which stars Chloe and Nadine, and then you got Uncharted 4 Thief's End, Nathan Drake, obviously. Both great games, and fantastic games, and the only problem is the upgrade option, and I think this is the problem. PlayStation is making a bigger problem than what it needs to be. They're adding way more drama. They're adding fuel to already somewhat lit fire, and I say somewhat with hesitation here. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing here. It just makes no sense. So I'm gonna go over the details one at a time, especially because when I was watching the video of how the breakdown happened, or how this breaks down, I had to rewind it several times because I just couldn't wrap my head around it. So
it makes no sense.
Oh my god, it really doesn't. So let's get into it here. Nope, update. Scratch that. All right, let's get into it here. So we have, for those who purchase digital copies of each game, all right, you have a $10 upgrade charge. However, it comes with no multiplayer. Now, for me, that's not a big deal. I'm not really a big multiplayer guy when it comes to these games or anything like that. It seems like if you bought the digital edition, you're probably the person who's least affected by a lot of this. Now, but let's carry on and where it gets even worse, dude. So let's say you bought physical copies of each. All right, still a $10 upgrade charge, but you must insert the physical copy into your console. So if you have a physical copy every single time. So if you want to play a Thieves End, you got to put that physical copy. Like, damn, I want to switch it up and play Lost Legacy. Time to eject and put that disc inside. So again, $10 only here. Now, here's where it gets. This is the part that I'm just like, whoa, what the fuck were you really thinking? Like, you know, I already thought that before, but so then if you have a physical copies, but you have a PlayStation 5 digital edition, all right, you don't even qualify for the discount. You can't get it for the $10 more. Like, you're just screwed essentially. All right. What? Why does it have to be this way? All right, let's carry on, dude. If you had PlayStation Plus, some people got a Thieves End or they got in the Lost Legacy with PlayStation Plus. You're not eligible for the discount, dude. Yep. Luckily, I have physical copies of both, so I can do the $10 more, but I have to put the games in my disc drive. That's where I'm at right now. That's the problem that I fall in. But on a brighter note, those who do purchase or do get the upgrade, you get a free voucher to see the movie. But it only qualifies if you're in Australia, New Zealand, the UK, or the United States of America. Chris. It's easy as pie, baby. Easy.
This is so fucking tone deaf. The thing is, I hear this shit and I'm like, no, not you, Naughty Dog, not you.
Yeah.
It had to be Sony, those bastards. It can't be you, Naughty Dog. I love you, okay? So I don't want to believe that Neil Druckmann is twirling his mustache. I'm like, man, I don't want to think. Yeah, I don't want to think that. I don't want to think it's Sony over here and just being dumb. All right. Second of all, it's like, yo, dude, you know how you do that? Like, you cut in backlash every time you've done it,
right? And
you just like ignoring everything and pushing forward. The thing is, the backlash is getting more and more every time. But right. I'm like, why are you nickel and diming these people when you're out here beating Nintendo in sales? Like, it's not because Sony's like, oh, no one's buying our console.
Right.
Wrong. Everyone is buying your console. You are winning. You're in gold medal and you're just cruising right now, bro. And you're like you're still trying to slow down and kick the guy behind you for some reason. I don't understand. And with Gamepass, and it just does everything all at once. Like, oh, there's an update, you just have it.
Right.
You just have it because you already bought the game. Don't worry about it, fam. And it's just like, when Liquid, what was the other thing too? Oh, the thing is, Liquid, I don't know where, did I cut you off before you finished?
No.
There's one other thing. They took where you can just buy the digital offering. They took it off the store.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, you can't even.
Yeah, they took it off the store, so you have to buy the bundle for like $40 or $50. And just totally, it's such a blatant fuck you to the fan base. And I'm like, does this matter, Liquid? Are Naughty Dog fanboys like myself and yourself just gonna take this one on the chin and keep it running?
Okay, I appreciate the question because that's exactly where I wanted to go with next. Here's the thing. Like you mentioned, we keep seeing it. Like, Sony just keeps dropping the ball. But it makes you wonder, why do they keep doing it? Maybe it's because it keeps working. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe PlayStation fans are so, and this is the first time I'm bringing this up, maybe they're now becoming the Nintendo fans, where it's like they can do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. I'm not buying this upgrade. I'm not. I refuse. I have no reason to. I don't care. I bought the Death Stranding upgrade only because it came with 3 missions that weren't even worth a damn. Like, they weren't all that great at all. Like, they didn't play well. But I still bought it just because I knew they were there. You know, you're not getting any extra content with this. You know, so it's just like that's already a problem here. Now, granted, you're getting your upgrade resolution or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I already platinum these games. I already beat these games. I already own these games. So I don't care. This is not something I'm looking forward to. No, I'm not going to purchase it. Anyone who does purchase it, either you're a big fool or a big fan. One or the other. Like, if you're a huge fan, by all means, like we said earlier, play what you want to play. That's okay. Nobody's here to judge you. All right. But I'd argue that, dude, it must be working if PlayStation continues to do this shit. Like, I think it's dumb. When I couldn't believe it. We had talks of how they sound a lot like the PlayStation 3 PlayStation, like that time. And I think it shows now more than ever, even. You know, like you said, top of the world. You know what I'm saying? There's been a report that they're outselling the Xbox console versus PlayStation like 2-1 at this point. Mm-hmm. But it's just like you're like making you're simply striving, like just doing great, and you're just like burning something else on this side. Like it makes no sense, dude. I know you mentioned Game Pass. We're gonna get into Game Pass as well, because you know got some more news on that. But dude, I encourage nobody to purchase this. Like, if we want it to stop, if we want to stop bitching about it, we gotta just stop buying these things. Like, that's what it comes down to. I'm interested in the new. I'm here for Gran Turismo, God of War, and Horizon whenever the hell they come out. That's fine. But until then, I think these upgrades, I think I'm checking out, dude. I can't. I don't know how many times I said checking out on this podcast so far today, but I'm doing a lot of checking out apparently, and this is definitely one of them, dude. I can't do this. I can't do it.
No, because it's like, the thing is, you're like, this graphical update. I'm sorry. This is still like not this game, even though it came out like what? When did it come out? 2014, I want to say.
Which one? A Thief's End or Lost Legacy?
Did it come out? Either or.
Go ahead. I'll look this up.
Anyway, just like these are still some of the most beautiful games you can play as is on last, like, quote unquote last gen. Like, these games are beautiful. It's not like you need these graphics to enjoy this game. Yeah, you don't.
No, Thieves End 2016, so 5 years ago, and then Lost Legacy was a year after that, 2017, so 4 years ago. Like you said, I agree. Especially if you had it on the PlayStation 4 Pro, you're not seeing a big jump up here. You're really not.
Yeah, it's just, it's not worth it. And the thing is like, it's not a hard stand to not take either, because it's like, Last of Us is like right over there. Go play that. Yeah. And like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't want to say that Uncharted doesn't hold the weight that it used to. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like it, like, maybe just recency bias, but I feel like Uncharted, the next Uncharted game, whenever that happens, has to reintroduce itself in a real way.
Oh, I agree. And I think it will, especially with the way A Thief's End ended. But like you said here, I think the only reason why Uncharted doesn't hold as much weight as it is used to is because the guy who's right around the corner, which is The Last of Us. That's really, it's both made by the same developer. It's so funny. What a problem to have, I guess, right?
Yeah, and with the show coming out.
Yeah, that's true too. So, but yeah, and the movie, am I right? But anything to talk about that before I get into the Game Pass part of it?
Nah, I think we covered it all. But
okay, let's get into this here. Chris mentioned Game Pass and how Xbox does it. They've been killing it, been knocking it out of the park. I've been enjoying everything about it. I've been enjoying the xCloud, and I'm not even a cloud gaming kind of person. I hate it. I hated it. They made me a believer. They introduced so many things. First party, third party. I'm more a fan of the third party stuff than the first party stuff, personally. But you can't look at Game Pass and think it's not a great deal. You just can't. You can't. Because it is. It's a fantastic deal. That being said, PlayStation needed to come with something. All right? They needed. Xbox essentially forced PlayStation's hand to do this. PlayStation, if it was up to PlayStation, they wouldn't give a shit. They wouldn't do this at all. They wouldn't care. They like the way things are going. All right? But PlayStation's introducing their new Game Pass, essentially. We don't know what it's called. All we know is there's a code name, it starts with an S. I totally should have put it on here.
Game Pass?
I think it's like, oh man, hold on real quick. I just want to look it up just because it's bothering me here. It's
Okay.
called Code. It starts with the S. It's like Spartacus. Jesus, why can't I figure that out? Spartacus. What we do, this is what we've known so far. We don't know much of everything because I feel like there's still more to be unpacked that just hasn't been shown yet. And I want to get into my theories as well because I have some thoughts of what could make this at least a little bit better. I still don't think it's gonna come I don't think it'll come close to Game Pass. I want to get that out the way. It's not. They just don't have the financial resources to do that, in my opinion. But let's get into it. They're gonna have 3 tiers. All right, no prices yet. This is what we do know. The first tier is supposed to be similar to what we get with PlayStation Plus right now. So I'd assume PlayStation Plus, you get your online gameplay, and then you get your free games of the month. Fair enough. Then tier 2, it's going to introduce free PS4 and PS5 games. Granted, I would imagine these will probably be at minimum a year, like after the fact, after they come out. Essentially after they sold, hand over fist of whatever copies it was, they'll now throw it on whatever they're calling a Spartacus. And then there's tier 3, which is going to include obviously the other 2. It's also going to have extensive demos, streaming, and backwards compatibility with what appears to be PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as PSP. Now, Chris, what are your initial thoughts? What are you thinking about this?
I think I'm the only thing that I'm worried about this is that this will heavily influence Game Pass, because if this 3-tier system works for some reason, Xbox is gonna be like, oh, that means there's an audience base that will pay this much money for more than likely a regular audience. And I think that Xbox is even looking at this as maybe a positive, because when people are going to be reviewing this service, it's going to be compared to Game Pass. And this is not going to be getting better than Game Pass. But it does open the minds of a bigger player base. More people will be comfortable with a service like this through Sony, and I think it will actually help Xbox when they like, oh man, this PlayStation Spartacus is great, and like, yeah, but Game Pass is better. Like, better than this? Like, yeah. It's like, yo, that God of War game, if it came out on Xbox, we'd be playing that day one. How much would you pay more? Not a damn thing. What?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that conversation will in fact happen in the future. Because one of the rumors is that like this is not gonna have day and date like Game Pass does.
Right.
Like I was playing Halo Infinite's campaign, didn't add a cent. Hell, they gave me a skin in the game just for having Game Pass. I get a discount on money when I spend money. I said of spending a full $20, I get to spend like $18, and it's great. Just that little bit, like, hey, we appreciate you. These little things are being injected into me. These deals I'm getting in Game Pass makes me feel like a valued customer, and that's where I think Sony will not do. They won't give you anything because it sounds like they're taking, and you have to remember, they're doing all this when it is dry out here for Sony.
Right.
It is dry. We are in a desert. We are in, what is it, Uncharted 3? When he's in the desert?
Oh.
Remember that? He go grabs the. Is it 1 or is it 2 or 3?
I think it is 3. I'm pretty sure it's 3.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? It is dry out here, and they're making these moves now. And this is just put together, bro.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not like Game Pass took years to do. It had to jump through hurdles and hurdles. Like we see the Game Pass that is now. We're not talking about when they were talking about it on the Xbox. No one gave 2 shits about.
Right.
And Phil Spencer's begging and pleading, this is gonna get good. We're like, sure, bro, you're dead. I'm gonna go play PS4 with my homies. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, that's the best I got.
I gotcha. Now, I agree. I actually like the fact that like you said, it'll give that comparison and give Xbox ideas as well, which I think essentially is what we want, right? We need that competition. We need them to sort of fight each other, right? We want them to sort of be all out because I think at the end of the day, we do benefit from this, right? Now, here's, I guess, my speculation. Like you said, as far as day and date, I truly do not believe there will be day and date. There's no way. I just don't see it.
Hell
It's
no.
just not gonna happen. Now, granted, am I willing to pay full price for a game when it comes out on PlayStation? I would, just because that's the guy. I do love what they offer as far as their first party content, right?
When
Granted,
we get it, top tier.
yeah, absolutely, it'll be great. Third party stuff, if I find out it's coming to Game Pass, obviously I'm not gonna buy it. I'd get it on Game Pass, easy enough. Now, here's the thing here's what I feel like what nobody knows, and I didn't hear this from anyone. This is just me, top of, just this is tinfoil hat. This is what I'm hoping for. The
Who
first
you do at Sony?
So the first thing that this tier 3, this third tier, okay, I love the idea of the backwards compatible. I do. I want to play these old games. I want to play PS1 games, PS2, PS3, PS4, PSP. Like you said, we're getting this introduced, or not even introduced, because we don't even know when the release date is, but we're getting this in sort of a dry time. We're not getting anything out here, So I think all the more reason why they should make this third tier look so appealing. Like, oh guys, do you not remember PS1, 2, 3, 4, like all these other games that you liked? Obviously, why won't you just try them now? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that'll be their selling point in trying to sell that third tier. Here's the thing though. Here's where I think it gets interesting. I think what you do if you're Sony, you bought Funimation, you bought Crunchyroll. Maybe you throw that in there too. You're already trying to you're already trying to sort of like that line between movies and gaming. You're already trying to kind of like blur that out with you're trying to make these games even look cinematic. Even the intro looks very Marvel cinematic, Marvel universe. You know what I'm saying? Just the way it starts. So why not throw that in there? Anime lovers and gamers are, a lot of them are the same people. So why not? You know what I'm saying? Now that third tier, it might even be more expensive than Game Pass. Doesn't look as bad if I'm getting all this anime as well, if I am an anime lover. You get what I'm saying? So again, I didn't get that from anywhere. This is just me thinking, if I'm a business person.
Who you know at Sony?
I don't know anybody, dude. I'm just saying that would make it appealing. I'm not an anime person. My biggest thing is the backwards compatibility, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone who is really into anime be like, damn, that's a damn good deal. I want that. You get what I'm saying? And if they have a PS4 even, and they're like, hey, I could play PS1 through 3 or PS1 through 4 and PSP and have Funimation and Crunchyroll that I probably already pay for separately. Yeah, give me that. So that's what I'm thinking. But
and to add to your theory, it also solidifies Sony studio, like PlayStation Studios.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it makes it like more of a thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
PlayStation is the big thing. PlayStation Studios.
Yeah, like PlayStation Studios. Like we've met. They're gonna throw all that PR talk. Like we've locked down gaming. Now we're adding anime and all things like in pop nerd culture, and we're doing this. So then it seems like this. Yeah, no, that's probably what's gonna happen. Actually, like
I feel like that's the only way they can compete. That's, if you want to talk about competing, that's how they do it. That's the only way I can think of.
And it helps them buy time, because this cloud service thing, they're inevitably gonna try to, like, get Genkai. What is it called?
You said it right the first time.
Yeah. This is how they try to stall for time to make it work better.
Yeah.
Because if anyone's ever played PS Now, is not good.
Yeah.
Don't play Metal Gear on it. It's not good.
It definitely needs some work. 100%.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I think this is a good way. I do think that it will hopefully breed competition, but I don't see a world without day and date where it really competes with Xbox on a real level, because Xbox is all in. I think PlayStation is going to think of it as one of the arms of the machine.
Sure.
And not its main source of its main one of its its main things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it will always be considered less than what it does functionality wise. But I think it I want to say that it'll help Xbox
Mhm.
and maybe make them do even more. And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, well, what the heck is Xbox gonna do that's more, dude? You know what I'm saying?
Just
Like,
well, so here's the thing, because like I was of the mind that I thought that, you know, once Xbox is, like you said, we're starting to get their first party stuff is starting to gonna start hitting. I thought they would dial it back on the third party stuff. But I think if PlayStation introduces something like this, then you go even more in on the third party stuff and just make it even more appealing.
yeah, because it seems like Xbox just has no signs of slowing down.
No.
And if PlayStation is doing this, hopefully they're attacking it from way, because you know, with their soiree into the PC gaming, maybe we can do something on that front too.
Mhm.
And then ultimately, the like you said at the top of the segment, we win. Gamers win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
I think that's a perfect way to close it. Chris, do you have any last comments for the people at home? Anything that's just on your mind?
I love you so much.
Yeah.
And I guess Liquid's okay too. But remember, guys, have fun gaming and happy holidays out there to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't said it enough.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. I'm a little out of drink here, but pretend this is a toast. Yeah. Well, that being said, we're going to end this show here. Hey, like per usual, love each other. Take care. Above all else, be cool. This, of course, has been a Microtransaction. We'll see you next week.
Hey guys, thank you so much. We had a jam-packed show and we forgot to fit you guys in. Psych, we got you here, guys. Just thank you again for supporting us on the Patreon. If you want your name or for us to plug anything you want to do, link and down low. Just join the Patreon. Only costs $1. Thank you again so much, and we love you.
They bought it. They bought it easily. Appreciate the tip. All right. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it.